Welcome to Pop Culture Problems, a daily part of your well-balanced breakfast. It's great!
You know, John, you and I have been together so long that I know exactly what you're going to say. And before we started this episode, I put in a sealed envelope exactly what you were going to say, and that's exactly what you were going to say. Not the balanced breakfast,
right.
But I knew you were going to go Tony the Tiger way. Because, I mean, it's not a bad way. I'm just saying that I think you made a good choice.
He's universally identified as a great
absolutely is.
cereal or product mascot.
Absolutely, and that's what we're talking about today. Mascots. Product mascots, cartoon mascots in general. Now,
and you know what? I'm John Oderman. This is Josh Nichols. I don't think I identified us.
You didn't.
But I did not introduce us.
We are the cartoon mascots of Pop Culture Problems.
Yes.
I mean, we literally are walking cartoon characters.
Not animals, but characters for sure.
So
then again, you don't. Captain Crunch is a great non-animal mascot. But Captain Crunch definitely represents a cereal that can be a little vicious from time to time.
Are we only talking about cartoon mascots? Are we going to talk about other kinds of mascots?
No, I think this is going to run the gamut.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about mascots that were like the Micro Machines guy is a great.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite my favorite human non-cartoon mascot.
Thank you, Josh.
Not you.
Oh,
I'm saying my favorite would be probably the Maytag Repairman.
Oh yeah.
Good guy. And the new one, I kind of like the spin they're taking on.
Yeah.
Like they're doing a good job doing a different, kind of way of doing it. Modern wise, I think Colonel Sanders. Good grief.
What KFC is doing with Colonel Sanders now is just like top notch, really outside the box.
Oh, absolutely. And not only with having different actors play the part, does it keep it fresh and it keeps you guessing who's going to be the next one. It provides anticipation. But from a business move, it's probably really cheap to do it this way versus hiring somebody who gets notoriety. You have a sitcom on for 10 years, you're paying those actors $1 million an episode. Yep. Versus if you were able to be like, yeah, I'm going to replace you after 3 episodes. Period. Yeah. Done. Like, I mean, Dr.
You might
Who,
get 2 commercials and then...
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you get... So it's a little cheaper, and then I think you get people wanting to be in the commercials, vying for the position. Now, I don't think we've talked about...
Who's the most recent one?
Rob Lowe, maybe? Or Ray Liotta.
I haven't seen the Rob Lowe ones.
Yeah, Ray Liotta, I think, is the newest one. And here's the thing, like, I have a list of people that I want to be on that.
Kathy Bates is on the list.
That's mine. Kathy Bates has got to be the next Colonel Sanders. I think she would do a phenomenal job. So, KFC, if you're listening, Kathy Bates, if you're listening, make that happen. Now, you started out the episode with Tony the Tiger. A little bit of trivia here. Who voiced Tony the Tiger?
I don't know.
What?
But apparently you do.
Okay, I got another question for you. Who was the narrator and who was the singer for How the Grinch Stole Christmas and You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch?
I'm guessing the same guy.
No, not quite.
Well, that was like a trick question.
Okay, so now the thing is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the animated show, that had credits that gave the narration credit to what's his name? I just lost it. Is it Vincent Price?
Vincent Price, okay.
No.
I love Vincent Price.
No, yeah, no, it's not. Maybe Boris Karloff.
Okay, yes.
The name just left me. I remember the Tony Tiger actor's name, which will be funny to you once you hear his name. Okay. But I forgot Boris Karloff.
Is it Gilbert Gottfried?
No.
Yeah.
So Boris Karloff was the narrator of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The Grinch slunk to the kitchen, blah, 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 and he did all the little voices. When You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch came on, everybody assumed it was Boris Karloff because he was the only voice credited for the narration and the singing. Like, they left out the person who sang You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. Wow. And it was the Tony the Tiger actor, Theirrrrrr Ravenscroft. Now, the fact that I remember that, but I couldn't get Boris Karloff out.
Theirrrrrr
Ravenscroft.
All right.
he was the voice of Tony the Tiger and the singer of "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch."
You know, that's a good question. Do you think is Theirrrrrr still around?
I know he passed away many years ago.
So are they still just using his like recordings from way back when?
I think that they were.
Or do you think they have a new Tony the Tiger?
I think they were using it at some point, and I think what they did. I don't see a lot of commercials these days because of the way I consume media, but I remember seeing a newer version, and before it was like, "They're great," and now in the more recent one I saw, and this was maybe 5-10 years ago, where it was like, "They're great." It was like in the background, and so they kind of minimized the voice, but they made it part of the scene, but it was like a distant shot, and so you could hear him saying it, but he was saying it away.
Oh, like so he was like playing with some kids in a park or something?
So it was kind of like not the zinger that it used to be, but they kind of kept it for nostalgia purposes, I think. So it was kind of interesting.
Oh, see, as a consumer, if like I'm buying cereal for my kids, I want that nostalgia angle.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want them to kill off Tony the Tiger.
Yeah.
I don't want them
to do that
box
either.
To just say Frosted Flakes.
Okay, John. This is trivia, but also asking your opinion. What is your favorite non-human, non-cartoon mascot, a.k.a. a puppet? Can you think of any puppeted or non-human, non-cartoon mascots? Snuggles.
Oh.
Fabric softener.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Snuggles.
And I had a crisis of character and just this midlife crisis of sorts where they changed Snuggles. They changed the look of him.
Yes,
and
I remember
think
this.
they even animated him. They changed the voice. It was terrible.
Yeah, like the CGI Snuggles was terrifying a little bit.
I did not like it. Give me the original. I really don't know why they changed it. Like when you have something that works like that, like if you change Kermit the Frog to being a CGI frog, like it just kind of
ruins it. Yeah,
yeah.
And Snuggles is one of those things that's like you can put Snuggles in a lot of different situations and it's funny.
Oh yeah,
just because of what Snuggles is. Like you could like have an SNL skit where Snuggles is like a homicidal, like Chucky like doll that lives in the laundry room, and
that just got real quick. They replaced another Pillsbury Doughboy. They replaced. Oh, I did not like that. They changed the voice on him.
I'm not familiar with that change.
Really?
No.
Yeah, Pillsbury Doughboy. They changed the voice and the animation on it a little bit, and I didn't really care for it.
Where it wasn't hoo-hoo, it was hoo-hoo.
It sounds like he needed to, like, I don't know, not smoke anymore.
What would be like your most annoying mascot?
I liked Chester Cheeto. The new Chester Cheeto is just annoying.
I actually like the new Chester Cheeto more than the old one.
The new one
that's
is
just
annoying.
like kind of hanging out, like
annoying. Yeah, I don't like him. He's annoying. I don't like him. And that was.
Well, I mean, I think they're appealing to a certain demographic there, with the Cheetos, with Chester Cheeto just being kind of a burned out, like there's a certain demographic they're going after there that they think eats a lot of Cheetos.
He's annoying to me.
Yeah. I wonder how much Cheeto market share has gone up in a place like Colorado, for example.
They just do airdrops of Cheetos. Like it's like, I think as far as mascots that I don't like, I think are associated with products that I don't really care for.
See, but there's one product in particular that I like, but I never really, even as like a kid, could never really get on board with like the whole slogan, and that's Trix.
Oh,
Trix are for kids. The Trix rabbit.
I never liked the Trix
rabbit. But you didn't like him because why couldn't the rabbit have Trix?
I didn't like the cereal either. He could have had it for all I cared because I didn't want it. There are two superior types of cereal. I will let you guess what the two superior cereals are.
Marshmallow?
No.
Life?
No. There are literally
Captain
only
Crunch?
two. There are only two
Oops,
cereals.
All berries, Captain Crunch.
There are only two cereals that
Fruity
win.
Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles is one.
Okay.
Not Cocoa Pebbles.
Fruity
Get out
Pebbles,
of here.
yeah. Cocoa Pebbles, you can flush that down the toilet.
And
if you're eating free Cocoa Pebbles, you might as well just eat them out of the toilet bowl.
For a prank, put them in the toilet. It looks just as good. Yeah. Fruity Pebbles are delicious. Yes, but they are number 2 on the list. What is number 1?
See, number 1 for me will and always has been Captain Crunch.
No, you're wrong.
Okay. Lucky Charms?
Wrong. Lucky Charms would only...
Fruit Loops?
Yes. Fruit Loops and Fruity Pebbles. Lucky Charms...
Fruit Loops has a great... are you familiar with the Mandela effect?
Nelson Mandela?
Yeah, the Mandela effect.
No, I don't think so.
Well,
was it in a book?
We should maybe do a separate...
give me a preview. Give me
the Mandela effect is basically that the way you see things in your mind's eye actually isn't the truth. Like, there are apparently millions of people that think Nelson Mandela died in prison. And the theory is that Nelson Mandela, it's like a glitch in the Matrix. Nelson Mandela did die in prison, but then somehow history was changed to where he didn't die in prison. So, like, Fruit Loops is an example of that. Like, how would you spell Fruit Loops?
How would I spell Fruit Loops?
Yeah.
Fruitsloops.
It's Froot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and like in the Mandela effect, there's a. Are you familiar with the Sinbad movie Kazam?
Unfortunately, I'm familiar with it. I've never seen it.
It doesn't exist.
What? Shazam.
That's the Shaq movie.
And then Sinbad is
Kazam.
But you said wait.
No, but there are millions of people. The Sinbad movie where he was a genie. There are millions of people that say that this movie exists. Never existed.
Yeah, Sinbad movie.
Yes, where he was a genie.
And he was never.
And that movie.
But he was never in a movie
like,
even close.
Sinbad has been asked about this movie. He's like, I was never in that movie. I never made that movie. And there are people that swear that they had the movie poster on their wall when they were growing up.
Yeah, so what did they think it was?
I don't know, but that's the Mandela effect. And Fruit Loops is one of the things that people kind of allude to there, because in your mind's eye, you spell it as you would spell fruit, but it's not spelled like that. And people like swear that it's spelled like that, and then you show them a box, and they're like, "Oh, guess not."
Well,
we might have to spend an entire episode talking about that, because we're getting a little off topic here.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
let me just say
Fruit Loops and
Fruity Pebbles.
However,
let me say one thing. The only way that Lucky Charms would be good if they just had an entire box of marshmallows, which I think actually was a prize. I think that they had like a special box of only marshmallows that you'd win like money or something like that. But like that's the only way that cereal would be good. They're sometimes in concept, cereals sound good, but they're not. I was never so excited for a cereal than for Oreos, the Oreo cereal. And what I pictured was little mini Oreos in milk.
Yeah.
Like actual mini
what
cookies. And no, it was like Fruit Loops knockoff kind of thing. And they kind of made the taste like a roughly like a Oreo, but it was not, I wanted just little mini cookies. Now I just buy mini Oreos and put them in milk. Make my own cereal.
So why do you hate Captain Crunch?
Wasn't good. I didn't care for the cereal. God. Didn't care for the cereal.
Even like Crunch Berries?
No, didn't care for the cereal.
And
Captain Crunch was not a good mascot. Meh. I don't think he was a good mascot. Did he even talk? Did he have any sort of words or phrases? Did he say anything?
See you later.
He's out the door. He just didn't have any. He wasn't good at all.
Well, that's true, but the cereal was good.
Well, that's true. He was terrible, and he had terrible cereal.
How about Diggum Frog?
See, that was where I was
Honey
going.
Smacks is like... See, that's the thing is... Like, the mascot could be great, but if the cereal's terrible, the mascot doesn't matter.
But that's the other thing, too, is, like, that's where I was going with to say that if I don't like something, I don't really care for the mascot either, usually. So, like, I never liked Snapjack, so I was like, eh. But there's a lot of cereals I like that didn't even have a mascot. Apple Jacks?
Apple Jacks is delicious.
But they don't have a mascot, do they?
Well, now they kind of have like the cartoony apple and cinnamon.
Oh, do they?
Cinnamon dudes. But they don't really have commercials. One mascot that I think group of mascot that I think get a bad rap are Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Oh, they're great. Here's the reason. I think Rice Krispies are a terrible cereal.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw that out.
Yeah.
And I will.
But
tell
a delicious dessert.
Well, I'll tell you. There's two
That's
ways.
what Rice Krispies are good for.
Yeah. You add gooey marshmallow goodness to Rice Krispies, perfect in schlag. You add a half of a cup of sugar per spoonful of Rice Krispies, perfect. I remember as a kid, like Rice Krispies, and like 1 part Rice Krispies, 2 parts sugar, 1 part milk.
And then it was delicious.
Oh yeah, it was great.
And then you had the sugar milk when you were done.
It just was not enough sugar at the time.
Another terribly annoying mascot, Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, Sonny the Bird.
Oh yeah,
I hated that guy.
I like Toucan Sam though. Because I like Fruit Loops.
Yeah, just follow your nose.
You know what? And here's the thing that I think people don't capitalize upon enough. The fact that you could use existing characters, Fruity Pebbles and the Flintstones.
Yeah.
How great an idea. Why not just capitalize upon that?
Yeah, and you're kind of alluding to the fact that you're eating rocks.
Is that really what you...
That's exactly what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay, what about like mascots that weren't necessarily for breakfast cereals, but were for other things? I mean, probably... I mean, and there are famous and then there are notorious ones. Possibly the most notorious of all time. I think you're going to... You know what I'm going to say here. Senior Joe Camel.
Oh, yes. Joe Camel. Joe Camel! Yeah.
South Park reference. Joe Camel.
No, that was not South Park.
I thought it was.
No. They had Chin Pokemon. Joe Camel was a bit on the sketch comedy show that lasted 3 episodes, I believe. TV Funhouse, which is a spin-off of a Saturday Night Live show.
Joe Camel.
If you have not seen Joe Camel, look it up on the tube of the YouTube. Because it's fabulous. Yeah, you know, and I so what are your feelings on the corruption of youth in America vis-a-vis Joe Camel?
Well, if you're going to get after Joe Camel for like cigarettes, let's get after the cereal mascots for all the sugar. Yeah.
I mean, is it? And what's worse, sugar or nicotine and chemicals in your cigarettes?
I don't know.
Chemicals in your cereal, too, probably. But I think it's a stigma. People generally think that food is less destructive than cigarettes, and so they kind of put that stigma.
See, and I'll admit, I thought Joe Camel was cool. I never smoked a cigarette.
Yeah.
Joe Camel was a cool dude.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes they even threw some cute lady camels on the ads. You know, that.
Oh, yeah. Like, ooh. Look at the humps on her, you know?
No, but like,
little sex-starved John going after the Camel cigarette ads.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, what? That wasn't the right term for it. Little adolescent, curious John.
No, but like, I mean, Joe Camel was a cool cat, cool dude.
He was a cool camel, not a cool cat. Oh man!
But I never smoked cigarettes. You know.
Well,
I never smoked some Camels.
I think if you're going to use the logic that by having a cartoon mascot on something that would get kids to like it is bad, and I'm thinking they're probably thinking like teenagers.
I will
tweens.
freely admit, though, if I did smoke a cigarette, I think my first carton that I bought would be Camels.
Okay.
Because of Joe Camel.
It should be, because you know of that brand.
Yeah.
It's brand recognition. But what I'm saying is, who do you think parents were most afraid of seeing the cartoon? Their 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, or probably their 12, 13, 14-year-olds?
Probably 12, 13, 14-year-olds, yeah.
So let's say, for instance, in that category, 12 to 16, those are the category you're like, they see Joe Camel, they're going to want to smoke them their cigarettes. You know,
like, I guess, like, what's so cool about a camel that, like,
I don't know.
like that made people think, geez, that's real. We gotta shut this down.
I think
it's not the scantily clad women that are gonna get our sons to smoke cigarettes. It's that damn cartoon camel.
I think that people associate cartoons with youth, and youth are easily influenced, and so they made a leap. The cartoon that was selling cigarettes was giving kids that assumption that they could smoke and it was okay. However, my point is, John, that I've been desperately trying to get to before I forget it because I'm an old man, is that if that's bad, if Joe Camel is bad because it's going to get them to do something like cigarettes that parents don't want them to be involved with, why not then use it for good? I think parents would have equal problem if you slap Joe Camel on condom wrappers. They'd probably be like, no. But isn't it good for kids if they are going to have sex to practice safe sex?
Yeah, you're right.
But they'd probably be up in arms because it's something...
They wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for Joe Camel.
It wasn't for
They're
Joe
doing
Camel.
it just to be like Joe Camel. I know for one thing, when I woke up every day, I wanted to be more like Joe Camel when I was a little kid.
Oh, absolutely. Because you were after Jane Camel. You sly boots. You were all over Jane.
Yeah, Janie.
Yeah, you got a poster of Jane Camel hanging up in your room. Underneath the periodic table. You just take it off when your parents left the room, you know?
Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah, that was my.
It was a poster.
That was my teenage bedroom.
It was a poster of Jane Camel laying on the sand with the pyramids behind her.
Yeah.
Because you needed a landscape view to fit behind the periodic table. Because that is a wide poster, not a long poster.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad we thought this through.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? I mean, that's one that I think that if that's the case, if cartoons really do influence, why aren't we using it for things like that?
Yeah, you're right.
Why not? But no.
I think situations like that, people are just looking for something to blame.
Yeah.
They don't want to blame their own poor parenting, so they're
Absolutely.
blaming Joe Camel.
Okay, another mascot, non-cereal related. Mr. Peanut.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut. Now, Mr. Peanut it just turned 100 last year, the logo. Mm-hmm. It was actually made, the general sketch of Mr. Peanut and the concept of him was created by a 14-year-old. And it was part of a contest back in 1916, and he won $5 for his entry. So when he won $5. And then it has turned into
one of the most easily recognizable characters in the history of the world.
I kind of wish they would. I don't know. Maybe they did do this, but I kind of wish they would have, given the kids a little bit more royalties, just for the sake of it. I also do not like the new Mr. Peanut. Have you seen the new Mr. Peanut?
Oh, I have. Yeah. Yep.
He's weird and stylized.
Yeah, and he seems a little smarmy.
Oh, smarmy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's no longer Mr. Peanut. Now he's Mr. Cashew. Like he's a little too uppity.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have peanuts. I'm surprised they didn't go through with that. I'm surprised they didn't have a Mrs. Walnut and a Grandpa Cashew, and they should have made a whole family.
Like a whole family. You're right.
Yeah, that'd be. If you're listening out there, we'll accept royalty checks at popcultureproblems.com.
Or $5.
Or $5.
One that isn't a cereal mascot that I think for our generation is fairly recognizable. Oh yeah. Kool-Aid.
Yeah, Kool-Aid was
huge.
Kool-Aid Man.
How many walls did he destroy in the 80s and 90s?
How stupid of a character was that, though?
Yeah, he's a glass pitcher filled with liquid.
A giant glass pitcher filled with liquid.
Busting through walls.
And
the physics of that just don't work.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, I look at each of these mascots, and I'm doing this facetiously. I'm looking at each of these mascots as far as their realism and whether or not I would be afraid of them. If I saw a peanut get up and dance around on a top hat, I think I could take it. I think that I could.
Yeah.
But if a giant picture of Kool-Aid bursts through my house unannounced, I'm just stirring up some water with some Kool-Aid mix.
No, just with some sugar because you don't have the Kool-Aid yet.
I'm
sugar water.
And all of a sudden bursts through the wall. Oh yeah! And probably breaks a little. Now it's got shards of glass coming at me. That is terrifying.
It is. And and the top of his pitcher is open. He's got
just
fluid
sloshing
around.
Oh, yeah.
He could just pick you up, throw you in there. You drown in delicious Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah. Or, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it could also go other ways. Like, burst into your house, he's like, drink me! Drink me! Got a big straw hanging out. And, like, here's the thing.
Oh, no.
Is he laced in something? Like, what's in that?
Well, how does he break through the walls without cracking himself?
He's got some steroid.
That's some. I mean, that's like bulletproof glass. Oh, yeah, man. I mean that's another element of that. It's like he breaks into your house. How do you defend yourself? Because you're not breaking that glass.
Well, and I think if he went through the exterior wall, he's gonna keep plowing through walls.
Yeah,
and if he hits a load-bearing beam, it's over.
There was a great Family Guy, like like where he like gets put on trial. Isn't there like one of those side scenes, like the cutaway scenes?
Oh yeah.
Oh no! He just backs out.
Oh man, it's just.
Oh no! It's Peter drives a car into the side of his house.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
And then he says, "Yeah, you know what? When I'm on this side of it, that's pretty annoying."
The Family Guy does a good job taking the things that we want to say and saying them in a funnier way with animation.
Yeah.
We just can't do it justice. We're like, load-bearing beam. Oh, shards of glass. Like, we go to the darkest places.
The Kool-Aid Man is.
Boy, he's a scary
I mean, when you
guy.
really like dig deep onto him, he is a scary character.
And like I mentioned, Maytag Repairman. Yeah, there's going to be a repairman come into your house fixing your washer and dryer. That's not an outside kind of the realm thing. The Geico Gecko. I might be a little
Aflac
weird.
Duck.
Yeah, I might be. Well, I have a bird fear.
Oh, you do?
Because
Okay.
birds are vicious and mean and they're fast. I might fear the Geico Duck, but the Aflac Duck, but the Geico Gecko, I could probably squish it. I could probably catch it. The duck, he might eat me alive.
Well, the Geico Gecko seems like kind of a nice guy though too.
Well, the British version.
Yeah.
He used to be different though.
Yeah.
Like he used to not be.
How about Mr. Owl?
Oh, how many licks does it take?
Yeah. He seems kind of a little bit of a pretentious jerk.
Oh yeah, he was a jerk. Because he didn't actually know the answer, but he pretended that he knew the answer. 1, 2, 3.
How about like, on a previous episode we talked about like verses. Okay. Out of all these mascots that we've talked about, I mean, do you think Kool-Aid Man, like there are probably few that can counter his
scariness?
Strengths?
It depends.
If we're in a knockdown, drag-out fight between all these mascots, who's going to come out victorious?
It depends if you fear clowns. Ronald McDonald.
Oh.
If you're scared of clowns. Yeah, because here's the thing. He's bringing a ham burglar, and he's bringing a bird and a grimace.
A grimace?
I don't even know what a grimace is. I don't even know how to fend off a grimace. I've watched nature shows that tell me, like, stop, drop, and roll, run up a tree if a bear's chasing you.
The only chance you've got against Ronald McDonald is if you bring a Mr. Clean to the fight.
Mr. Clean gets rid of grease and grime and dirt in just a minute, Mr. Theme songs. Yes. Jingles. We need to have that as an episode.
Or the Travelocity Roaming Gnome is another great one.
Yeah. But he's not
really a mascot. He's just like lawn gnome. The Green Giant.
The Green Giant. I'm going to ask you if you know who is the Kellogg's Cornflakes mascot.
Kellogg's Cornflakes. Oh, it's like a rooster, right?
Cornelius.
Or
Corny
the
rooster.
Wow.
Oh boy, that's kind of an oldie.
That's a deep dive.
Now you were talking about, who did you say was Cocoa Puffs?
Sonny the bird or whatever.
And then there's Coco the monkey for Cocoa Pops.
Cocoa Pops. I've never had Cocoa Pops.
I don't know what a pop is versus a pup.
You know what kid I don't trust?
What?
That Cocoa Wheats kid.
Cocoa Wheats? What's that?
He just looks a little too happy.
I've never heard of Cocoa Wheats.
You've never had Cocoa Wheats?
I don't think so. I only eat good cereal. Fruit Loops and Fruity Pebbles.
Cocoa Wheats isn't necessarily like a cereal. It's almost kind of, it's a little like.
You lost me, and it's not even a cereal. It's more healthy. And the fiber. It's roughage. Like, no, get out of here. Well, it's technically not a cereal when you think of deliciousness and sugar with milk. but it's
Is that how I talk?
it's more porridge-ish.
I'm not really. It is.
Oh my god,
It's more porridge-ish.
this is the worst.
It's like oatmeal without the oats.
That is the worst thing ever. It's like, oh,
I'm
John.
gonna bring you some cocoa
John,
wheats.
I
just
want
so
to tell you about my favorite cereal. It's green and it has little branches. It's broccolescence. It's kind of, it tastes like a vegetable, but it's more, like what?
No.
No. It's or cauliflower. Like if you cook cauliflower, and you put the cream in the boil. Like that could be a cereal. That's a terrible cereal. No,
Just
because you put
I
it
do
in a
have
bowl
to say
doesn't mean it's a cereal.
that I do love the old Poppin' Fresh.
Oh,
Poppin' Fresh, Pillsbury Doughboy.
yeah, Pillsbury Doughboy.
We've talked
Again,
about. He's a great mascot.
Look up the versions, the new versus the old. They changed him, and I didn't like it. Nesquik.
Oh,
Nesquik bunny.
Yeah.
Now that's a rabbit I can get behind. Trix, you stay home. But the Nesquik bunny.
Well, see, here's the thing. That Trix rabbit, he just let people push him around a little too much. If you wanted Trix, just go buy some.
I think.
And what's with all these mascots hanging out in the woods with kids? Lucky, the Lucky Charms guy, the Trix rabbit. All these kids are out in the woods with bowls of cereal.
Hello, kids. I can't do Irish, but hello, kids. I got some Lucky Charms for you.
Yeah.
Would you like some
You
cereal?
never give me Lucky Charms. Come
to the woods with
why
me.
are these kids eating cereal in the woods?
I mean,
How are they keeping their milk cold?
you don't know how their home life is. You really don't. I'm going to say
All these kids are on the run. That's why Trix are for kids, not the rabbit, because that's all they have to eat is the Trix.
I think that parents should research the mascots more than the nutritional label on the cereal. If you see that they have to get the cereal by going to the woods and talking to a small Irishman, maybe second guess it. And with Nesquik, before I forget, Nesquik, I don't think that they were very intelligent about picking the name for him because the bunny's name was Quickie. It was Quickie. Oh my goodness.
It's a ripped out Poppin' Fresh there, huh?
John Oderman just showed me a Pillsbury Doughboy that was ripped. He's got a six-pack. He's got... Boy, that Pillsbury Doughboy has buns on him. And look at those rolls.
I do have a question for you.
What?
If Joe Camel started selling a cereal, would you buy it?
If Joe Camel? I don't... they do have Joe Camel cereal. They have these really fancy bowls with a bunch of the ashes in it, which is the cereal. You just add milk.
It's called Cocoa Wheats.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for putting up with us on Pop Culture Problems. We'll see you next time. That's what you just did at the end.